Oh, good evening. Welcome to day 10 of confinement. I was just taking a few moments here to catch up on some light reading during a much appreciated respite from today's very hectic activities. Now, I am not somebody who enjoys schedules, probably more than most people. I like to be much more free-spirited. I don't want to have an appointment in the middle of the day. I don't feel like I can do anything if I do. I feel like, oh, there's all these things going on around me that I could jump into, but I have an appointment, so I have to stay in and wait to do the appointment. That's true of my days at work. It's the same thing. I don't feel like I can do anything because I have to go to work later. And that's just my personal psychological hang-up, I guess. I'm sure I could probably go out and do some stuff and then come back and then meet my appointments, but then I feel like I'm rushing around and all stressed out about it. So I like to just be kind of more casual and flowy. I don't like making schedules. I don't making appointments. So I don't make appointments. I don't like appointments. Which is why it's kind of ironic in this time of quarantine that when I have absolutely nothing to do, paradoxically, I've never been more busy. This morning, I wake up and I have to jump directly into a WWE Champions event. Now, WWE Champions is a mobile game that I play, and I'm on a team with about 75 other people. And we have a chat together that we speak online about and keep up with things in the game. The game is played very similar to something like Candy Crush, where you make a row of 3 to break and create points. But the difference is that in this game, you are embodying a WWE superstar, and when you break those gems, it creates a certain amount of damage that you do to another superstar that's going against you. Now, normally you're just playing against the computer, but during these special events, like this one that we had today, it's called a faction feud, your team goes up against every other team in the world. And we have been trying for the last several months to crack the top 100 in the world. We were 128th last month, and we made it to 112th this month. So we went up 16 spaces, didn't quite make it to the 100 yet, but maybe next month we'll try again. But I couldn't skip it for any reason. I had to put up a score. I couldn't let my people down. So that was the first part of my day. And then I had a scheduled text chat appointment with my progressive agent. They're not doing phone calls at this time apparently because they don't know when they're going to be in the office, and they want you to set up an appointment so that they can, figure out their people that are at home and all that stuff. So that's what I did. And I had to deal with a renewal issue. I renewed my insurance a month early, the last time that it came up due, and now they're telling me my renewal date is earlier, which it shouldn't be. It should be the same as it was. They just, I think what they did was they put my renewal date at the time when I made the payment, which means that I lost a month of my previous pay schedule. So I wanted to deal with that. So I did that. And then the next thing after that was Teddy and I got Teddy! I told you not to read that stuff. So anyway, my cousin set up a family chat for us. And Teddy and I had the opportunity to FaceTime in with a number of my family members. I have a very large family, so you have to keep that in mind. My mother had 9 brothers and sisters, so there are lots and lots of extended family, cousins and cousins' kids and aunts and uncles and nephews and nieces. I don't have any nephews and nieces, but the rest of the family does. So there were lots and lots and lots of people. And so we set up this chat to have a conversation, and I got the opportunity to talk to some people who I don't see because they're in Georgia and North Florida, and I got to meet some new faces. You say, meet some new faces, they're your family. Well, let me just say that 23andMe and Ancestry.com have really changed our family. Yeah. So I met some new people, and that was great. It was a great time. Great talking to all of them. And if you're watching, it was really wonderful meeting you. So what else? So we did that, and that was finished. That was, an hour of having a nice conversation. And then after that was my evening get-together. Was a Zoom trivia gaming contest. And we played Jeopardy! And I was winning for a little while, and then I was in second place by the time we got to Final Jeopardy! So I risked everything on a Bible question because, 12 years in Catholic school, you think you're going to know the Bible. Well, it was a trick question. It was, which biblical phrase did Steinbeck take the title of one of his books from? Now, that's a literature question. So, the only book that I could think of that had the only Steinbeck book that I could think of was Grapes of Wrath. So I put that. It was East of Eden, and I lost. Suffer. But it was fun. We had a good time, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do it again. So, seeing as how I have had an extremely busy day today, I did not have an opportunity to make any other kind of video. I decided I would just sit back and kind of relax, and I thought maybe I'd take some inspiration from Sir Patrick Stewart, who has been online doing his readings of Shakespeare sonnets. So I thought maybe, here's what I'll do. I will recite for you my favorite Shakespeare sonnet, and then I will translate it into modern English, so you can kind of get an idea of what it is that's being said. So, let's get into performance mode here. Alack, what poverty my muse brings forth, that having such scope to show her pride, the argument all bear is of more worth when it hath my added praise beside. Oh, blame me not if I no more can write. Look into your glass, and there appears a face that overgoes my blunt invention quite, dulling my lines and doing me disgrace. Were it not sinful then, striving to mend, to mar the subject that before was well? For to no other pass do my verses tend, than of your graces and gifts to tell. And more, much more than in my verse can sit, your own glass shows you when you look in it. So, what does it mean? The first line, alack, what poverty my muse brings forth, that having such scope to show her pride, the argument all bear is of more worth than when it hath my added praise beside. So what's he saying there is he's saying, darn, I can't get inspired to write anything about you. Everything that I write, it just is like gilding the lily. Everything I write is pale in comparison to what you are. Oh, blame me not if I no more can write. Look in your glass, and there appears a face that overgoes my blunt invention quite, dulling my lines and doing me disgrace. Don't get angry at me if I can't write poetry anymore. Look in your mirror, look in your glass, and you'll see that the beauty that's in there is so much better than any beautiful words that I can write. Were it not sinful then, striving to mend, to mar the subject that before was well? For to no other pass do my verses tend, than of your graces and gifts to tell. Isn't it a crime for me to try to make you seem more beautiful than you already are? Isn't it awful for me to do that? And therefore, how can I write anything? And more, much more than in your verse can sit, your own glass shows you when you look in it. There's nothing greater than what you see in the mirror. So, totally together. Darn it, I can't write anymore because you're just so beautiful. And everything that I write is just weakness compared to what is actually staring at you in the mirror. Much simpler when you say it in modern English, but Shakespeare had a way with words. He wanted things to sound more beautiful. He's talking about this in this poem about not gilding the lily by gilding the lily. It's very, very fun. So, I hope you had a good day today. We are going to sit back and try and relax a little bit after such a hectic day. And day 10 of confinement. See you tomorrow.